Hi, my name is Kylie Phoenix and I'm from Human Happiness, and I'm here to talk to you about your immune system. In this day and age, our immune system is starting to get quite the headline, and it's getting really important to make sure that our immune system is as strong as possible to obviously to fight against bugs if we catch anything, including of course the COVID-19 virus and anything else of course that may come at us. And I'm here to talk to you about what happens with your immune system when it feels compromised. Okay, so it will feel compromised on a cellular level if on a cellular level it interprets that it is being attacked. Okay, if it feels under attack, what your body will do is actually wage war against whatever it is that it thinks it's being attacked by. This can be many things, and I'm actually going to list the things that your body can actually feel attacked by. Obviously the old school GMOs and things like Roundup, okay, and that's why a lot of us choose to eat organic food, which will actually counter that issue. Ibuprofen, so any other non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, and they're called NSAIDs. Okay, but of course we know them in Australia as ibuprofen. Okay, so your Nurofen, for instance, if you pop those all the time, if you're feeling a bit of inflammation, what will happen is it actually will cause more inflammation, because it's your body actually sees it as the enemy, and it will actually feel under attack. And I'll go into that more in a minute. Antacids, so any kind of stomach acid blockers is also another one. Broad spectrum antibiotics, so we know this, most of us are starting to become aware of broad spectrum antibiotics and how they can be so damaging to particularly our gut bacteria, but our body in general actually starts to feel like it's under attack because when we start to take these sorts of antibiotics. Blue light, constant exposure to blue light can also create this feeling, this situation in our bodies. Polyphenols, we've probably started to get that as a bit of a buzzword lately. BPAs, BHT, parabens, triclosan, phthalates. You may have heard those words buzzing around. They're all naughty, bad things that we don't want to actually ingest. Okay, you can find these in your kitchen, in your laundry, in your bathroom, in your personal care items like your sunscreens and your moisturisers and your face washes, etc. Artificial sweeteners, most of those also make your body feel that it is under attack. And lectins, I do quite a bit of work on lectins when I teach the weight loss course, and all of these actually I cover in great detail when I do the weight loss course. And of course electromagnetic radiation is also constant exposure. Even low level electromagnetic radiation makes your body feel like it's under attack. Okay, so when your body identifies on a cellular level that these objects or these sensations, of course electromagnetic radiation is actually just a sensation that the body will sense, because that type of radiation is actually coming through the cells, it will actually start to wage war, okay, against what it believes to be an enemy. Okay, now how does it wage war? What it does is it gets its soldiers together. The soldiers are your white blood cells, okay? So it gathers lots and lots of white blood cells in the vicinity of where that war is being waged. And also, what does it use as a weapon? Okay, so the white blood cells are there. What are they going to use as a weapon to fight this war? The weapon is inflammation, okay? And how do they feed all of these soldiers? They feed them with fat stores. Okay, so one of the very first signs that you are having a war waged in your body is excess fat in certain parts of your body. Okay, that's your very first sign that something might not be quite right. Okay, then you might start to notice, you may only be at this level at this point, but you may start to notice other things that start to go amiss. And some people might put it down to old age, or getting a bit older, maybe in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. You're like, oh, I've got a few aches and pains, don't worry about it, it's probably pre-arthritis, it's not a problem. Oh, I'm getting a bit of a foggy memory, don't be concerned. Or I've got a bit of a skin situation happening, maybe acne, maybe rashes, maybe a little bit of precancerous type skin cells happening, but not really worrying too much about it. So you've got the the fat stores, and then you start to get these other sort of quirky kind of little things that start to happen, aches and pains and all of that happening around your body. Maybe some bladder issues, urinary tract infections that don't seem to want to go away. Maybe a little bit of, for the women, maybe a little bit of perimenopausal stuff going on. There might be endometriosis, things like that, things starting to not quite go right, okay? And then at the next level, this war that's being waged, can't say it, the war that's being waged in your body starts to get to an upper, when it's been there for quite some time, it starts to up the ante, okay? So all these niggling things like the foggy memory, or maybe a little bit of shaking, maybe a little bit of this and that, might turn into Alzheimer's disease or Parkinson's disease when we get right up there into the higher levels, okay? Maybe, you know, the low blood cell levels, like white blood cell counts might end up turning into something that's pre-cancer or maybe even cancer. You might be pre-diabetes or going into diabetes. This is when it starts to get pretty serious, okay, when the level that you start to notice actually gets a little bit more obvious. Okay, and then of course we get to the point where, you know, your actual life is being threatened. Okay, now I want to tell you a little bit of a story about an experiment they did quite some time ago. A cane toad. They put a cane toad in a cold bowl of water. Okay, and he sat there quite happily, and they slowly heated this water up. Okay, very, very slowly heated it up, and eventually he got it to 100 degrees Celsius, and the cane toad sat there the whole time, quite happily, quite completely oblivious to the fact that the temperature was going up. Didn't really notice it because it was so subtle. Slowly went up, and then eventually he boiled to death because he actually didn't notice that it had got to that point because it was so slow and subtle. This is what's happening with our bodies. If you're starting to feel niggles, if you've got a little bit of excess fat in a few spots, pay attention, because that means there is a war being waged in your body. Okay, and at the moment it might be local, it might be where that fat is. Okay, if it started to move out into other areas, into other organs, into other parts of your body, maybe into your bones, you're starting to get a little bit of cramping, a little bit of aches and pains, that's when the temperature's getting up. So first we're at, say, 50 degrees when we've got a bit of fat happening. Maybe it's at 60 or 70 degrees when we're starting to get the aches and the pains and the foggy memory and all that. Because don't forget, your gut microbiomes have actually got a straight channel up to your brain. Okay, they've got a freeway that heads straight up to your brain. Your brain is not separate to your gut, you know this. And if all these things are attacking you, particularly your gut, okay, but other parts of your body as well, your brain will not be immune to what's actually happening here, okay, which is why we get the Parkinson's disease and the Alzheimer's and the dementia and all of that sort of stuff, because if there's an imbalance going on somewhere in your body, it will end up somewhere else if you let the temperature go up. Okay, so the cane toad's sitting there, and if nothing's done about it, it will actually turn into pre-diabetes, pre-cancer, you know, pre-Parkinson's, that sort of thing. You're getting into stage 1 of things, and then if there's no attention paid, you actually get that diagnosis. Okay, so now, in my courses that I do, of course, I go into great detail into what these things are. I could stand there, and I do stand there and I tell you what it is that actually does this, what things cause these problems, and what you can do instead as an alternative, which is very possible, very simple, very straightforward. Don't watch this video and go, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? I'm not allowed to eat anything, I'm not allowed to do anything. That's actually not the situation, okay? All of these things can be avoided very easily. Okay, obviously it takes a bit of time and effort to change your lifestyle, but it is actually possible. Okay, to actually stop your body from feeling like it's under attack. I can do that. I can teach you all of that stuff. I can hand you out lists of things, guide you, show you recipes, all that sort of stuff. No problem. Okay, but if you on a subconscious level, so your little person, your ego, on a subconscious level, still feels like he or she is under attack, this won't do anything. Okay, you can do as many diets as you want, you can change your lifestyle, you can eliminate your electromagnetic radiation exposure, you can eliminate your blue light exposure, no problem. You can clean out your kitchen and all that, remove all of the phenols and all that sort of stuff, but you need to work on the level of your subconscious, and that subconscious has to start to feel like he or she is not under attack. Okay, that's why this has happened in the first place. Okay, I 100% guarantee that if you have excess fat anywhere on your body, on a subconscious level, you feel that you're under attack. Okay, it might not be physical attack, and this is subconscious, by the way. It's not, okay, I'm going to walk out the front door and be attacked. This is your little person, your little child inside, who at some point made up a story, and I'm not saying it's invalid, I'm just saying that they made up a concern because of their circumstances, that they were not safe, that they're under attack. Okay, it might be under attack of being embarrassed, or under attack of being rejected. Okay, it may not necessarily be physical attack, or it may be all of the above. Okay, if you are feeling unsafe on a subconscious level, you will have excess fat. That is the 50 degrees for the cane toad. Okay, and you need to work out where you are on that level there. So yeah, that's where we're at. And of course, my other course, the Ho'oponopono course, which is coming up, the first one for 2021 is coming up on the 6th and 7th of November. You're quite welcome to join us on that one to actually learn the basics of all of this stuff about what it is that's attacking you physically, which is what I've just gone through, and of course how to actually do the Ho'oponopono. So it takes you all the way through the Ho'oponopono course. I have another video coming through today as well, which is actually outlining the Ho'oponopono course, if you want to actually suss out a little bit more about what the course entails. But it actually does remove those programs. Excuse me, it removes any programs, but it can remove, in particular for this topic, it can remove the programs in your subconscious, on every level of your subconscious, about the feeling of feeling unsafe. Okay, which will allow you to actually make these changes and make them lasting and make them have the positive effect that you're after. So I hope you found this interesting. Of course, send me comments, email me if you want. If you want any more information, go to the website humanhappiness.com.au if you want to find out more about the course. Watch the other video about Ho'oponopono if you want to hear about that, and I probably will be setting up a separate weight loss course, because there is just so much that needs to that we can go through on the weight loss course as well. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.